What up, world? I'm Steve, founder and CEO of CryptoCrewUniversity.com, home of the #1 crypto classes. If you want to take this complex world of crypto, make it super simple so that you have more success, this channel is for you. Hit that subscribe button. Everybody, hit that thumbs up button. I love you. Bitcoin is about to do something it's never done before any other halving. The halving is a big event. It's going to really shake up the crypto markets, and I need you to be ready for what this thing is because there's a little fishiness happening in the charts prior to the halving. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Hope you have a smile on your face. I hope you're looking fresh, and I hope you're ready for another very powerful, simple, and a video that you can use going forward as we prepare for the upcoming halving. First, let me know what you think of the music. We've got some classic Mozart happening in the background. What I want you to do with every single video is leave with more knowledge and more power and be better prepared for crypto than you were before the video. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. So there's a lot of fishiness happening in the charts. In today's video, we're really going to dig down into only the facts using a scientific approach and see what we can uncover so that we can be better prepared for this massive Bitcoin event. You can see in the chart here, for example, it's the stock to flow ratio. 3 times in the history of Bitcoin, we flashed a major signal. The past 2 times have been right at the halving. This happened back here in November 2012. The next one was right here in June 2016, both of which were at the halving event. But why suddenly did we see this large spike 5 months before the halving? There's also a lot of talk out there that this upcoming halving event is going to propel Bitcoin into a bull market. However, everybody's saying that. Everywhere you read online, every single news article, all around social media, everybody is saying that. But doesn't Bitcoin in all markets always act the opposite of what everybody's saying? So which way is it going to play out? That's what we're going to uncover in today's video. And there's also some things happening in the charts like this one, the Gaussian channel, where every single time in history, price action has been well above the channel entering the halving, and now we're inside the channel where danger is. So how is this going to play out? How is the halving going to affect the entire markets? That is all going to be discussed on today's video. But first, there's a chance for you to win $300 of Bitcoin. We have the jackpot risen to 300 because last week's winner didn't claim the prize. If you think you've never won anything before, you probably have a great chance at winning $300 of Bitcoin. Free to enter. Enter right now. Go to CryptoCrewUniversity.com, scroll all the way to the bottom and enter your email address and hit subscribe. And then you're entered. We'll announce the winner on next week's video. So pause this video right now. Go to CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Enter your email address for your chance to win the $300 of Bitcoin, and then come back to the video. Now, what we need to also be prepared is the timing of the halving event. We're 111 days away, right? It's got the date of May 12th as the estimated date, although it more than likely will be incredibly close to what we have here. But again, the charts are starting to see some signals that are a little bit different than the past 2 halvings. What does it mean? What should we be ready for? That's all going to be discussed today. Let me know what you think right now before I give my opinions. Let me know your opinion. How do you think the halving is going to play out? Are we going to see massive moves to the upside, or is it going to be the opposite of what everybody is expecting? What I want you to do first right now is picture yourself with your friends entering the big bright doors of the casino. Whether you like the casino or not, you've been there with your friends, and your goal is to have fun. And your goal is, hey, I hope I come out of here with some money, but I better have fun. So you go to that casino, you know the lights, you know the glamour, the glitz, you know the smell even as you enter. And you go in and you have a great time with your friends. And you probably were up big. But before you knew it, you lost that winning and you came out of the casino empty-handed and you lost some money. That's probably happened time and time again at a casino, and it's very similar to your situation in crypto. But what if before you entered the doors of the casino, you met somebody that had been winning at the casino for years and years and years, and they shared with you their tips and techniques so that you could go in and dominate the casino? You would have loved that. In fact, you would take that learning and you would probably want to go to the casino all the time to have that feeling of dominating the casino. Very similar to that of crypto. Crypto is a dangerous game. 90 to 95% of people will lose their money. I don't want you to lose your hard-earned money. My classes are based on my 19 years of experience. They're changing lives around the world, and we built these systems where you can enter these systems. You know exactly how to set up your trades for a higher probability of winning. You know what to look for in the charts. You know how to set up the charts. You have clarity. You're going to have more time on your hands. You're going to be looking at the charts less, and you're going to feel such confidence that you can take these skills that you learn in my classes, apply it to any other market, and achieve success. Now, are you going to win every single trade? No. If somebody's promising that, they're full of crap. Nobody on planet Earth will ever win every trade. It's never happened in the history of mankind, but we've built a system that wins more than it loses. It'll put you in the 90 percentile. That's what we're doing with these classes. That's what I want to get you set up on today. Now, we've got the diamond and the gold. Which one is best for you? You don't want to be on that losing side like the casino. You probably got into crypto, you made some money, and then you lost it. And you're probably down now. I need to get you out of that position and back on the right track with the proper system, with the proper learning. Diamond or gold. Now, you're going to pick the diamond if you're really new to crypto. If you want to start right at step one, you don't want to miss any important content, the diamond will be perfect for you. First link right down in the description, or go to our website, cryptocrewuniversity.com. Same website you're going to go to see if you can win $300 of Bitcoin, which, by the way, in the future will be worth a lot of money, so you better go sign up to that. Gold combo will be the second link in the description, and it'll be perfect for you if you've already achieved some success in crypto, knowing the fundamentals of crypto. So if you've been in crypto 1 to 2 years, boom, you start at the gold combo. Second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video as well. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Save $400 right now on the gold combo. This is our most popular by far, and you're going to love it. So I look forward to getting you on the right track. Now, the halving, right? We've got our countdown clock. Let's go through some facts about the halving so you can be well prepared for what is to come. A big question that's asked is it priced in already? So we know that the halving is in or around, exactly around this date, somewhere right around this date or exactly this date. Is it priced in already? What does that mean? You'll often hear that in markets where is something priced in or is it not yet priced in? And I'm going to give you my opinion. You can argue this any way you want. There's a lot of different sides, but I'm going to use my experience. I've been in markets, a lot of different markets for a long time, and here's how I view this topic. it comes down to, is the information known or not? For example, if a world war broke out tomorrow, would that be priced into current markets? No, because it was an unknown event, an unplanned event that took everybody by surprise. That would be not priced in. However, from my vantage point, everybody knows about the halving. Everybody knows. We've known this date for a long time. We're going to know this date for another 111 days. So is it going to catch anybody by surprise? No. Can the halving be canceled because it's cloudy out or raining? No. This is a scheduled, planned event based on mathematical equations that is nothing is up for debate. So is it priced in? Yes. In my opinion, yes. Everybody knows about it. It's not going to catch anybody by surprise. Now, does that mean the price has to stay exactly the price it is now at 8,007 right until the day of the halving? No, that's not the point. The point is the market is mature enough to realize this date, and the market is mature enough to act accordingly. Now, does the halving, another big theory is the halving propels Bitcoin into a bull run, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, which unfortunately is spread like wildfire through all news outlets, media outlets, all social media, and it's laughable. It tells me that nobody understands anything about charting, because in the past we entered a bull run here almost 1 year before the halving. So did the halving propel Bitcoin into a bull run? No, we were in a bull run for the year leading up to the halving. Same here. We entered a bull run, around October-ish, and, fast forward all the way to July, then the halving happened. So does the halving event propel Bitcoin into this explosive bull run? That's a bunch of BS. It's the sheep talk, the talk of the herd. So just set that aside. The simple reality is, if you start hearing everybody in the market saying the same thing, we're probably about to do the opposite, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind. But here's an interesting point. Let's zoom in to the halving back here. When we're in September 2012, Bitcoin was at about $13, right? $13. And then we've got this signal for the halving that the signal put us up here at $219, right? So that tells us like, hey, we're down here at $13, and it gave us a signal well ahead of time that we should look out for this price. And it took us about a little over 100 days to get up to that price. And then we actually went higher. Now, fast forward to the second halving. Keep in mind, there's only been two. A lot of people act like, well, this is definitely going to happen because every single halving this happened. That's absurdity. The reality is we've only had two ever. There's two data points. There's two data points. Anytime you're taking a scientific approach, just looking at the charts and looking at the facts, 2 data points is garbage. We can't base anything off of 2 data points. We need several more data points to have enough data to really analyze. So let's fast forward. We had this high, higher than the 219. Then we went into our second ever bear market. We got out of the bear market here in October. We had a golden cross. We entered a bull run. And then we've got this signal. Again, Bitcoin was at about 600, a little less than $700 when we got this signal flashing, right? And it told us that we should watch the price of about 7,000, right? So we were at around 700, told us to watch around 7,000. It took us, so the first time, we knew how long it took us. Let's see about the second time. So we got this signal here in July, and it took us a little over a year, almost a year and a half, to really realize those prices that we signaled. and we actually went higher. So it's the same type of pattern as before. We got this signal that told us we're going to go really high in price. It took us a while to get there, and then we actually went higher. We flashed this signal, told us it's going to go really high in price. It took us really a long time, 1.5 years to get there, but we actually went even higher. So how about the signal now? How high is it now, and what can we expect? Because also we need to talk about why this flashed 5 months before the halving, where the others flashed on or around the halving. But first, let's talk about this. So we've got this price here that is a little absurd, but the signal is telling us to watch the price of about $350,000. Now, keep in mind, we only have 2 data points, and we can analyze the data so many different ways because there's only 2. But again, it took a little over 100 days, and then it took 450 days. If we did a multiple there, maybe this one takes 1,200, 1,300 days. There's a lot of different ways for this to play out. However, the cold hard facts are it's flashing the signal. It's telling us to watch this price. Now, a couple more things to pay attention to. This is the stock to flow ratio, which we're kind of in the Wild West in crypto, where there's a lot of different versions of this, which pull data from different points. So there could be some stock to flows that are relatively different because the data is pulled from a different source. And because crypto is really new, a lot of the data we have on Bitcoin is always different. So you may see some different versions of the stock to flow ratio. However, the high majority of them are flashing a signal as of recently. How high is directly correlated to the data it's pulled and where it's pulled from, and how accurate or inaccurate that data may or may not be. But again, there's a lot of information to keep in mind about the halving. But again, there's only 2 data points. So we have to dig into it further, because this is abnormal, where we had a spike 5 months prior. But again, if we rewind the clock, this entire move starting from around January of last year until now has been abnormal. We'll get into that a little bit more in detail as we proceed with the video. But let me know down below, what are your thoughts on a halving? What do you think is going to play out? What do you think about this absurd price that the signal is flashing? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Join the movement, and let me know what you think about the music. Now, we talked about the halving. What I want to get into now is what's happening in the price of Bitcoin as we speak, so you can be better prepared. You're probably wondering, Steve, what do you think about this past week? So if you rewind the clock, we're looking at now the daily chart of Bitcoin, and then we're going to jump back into the halving, really nose deep in that. If you rewind the clock 6 to 7 weeks ago, we were talking about being at 6,005, 6,004, and we said the next major move in Bitcoin is going to be a retest of our top price channel as well as the 200-day. If you fast forward to today, that's exactly where we are. And we even pointed out the bullish divergence in our videos as well to really know when that price move is going to be. But as we dig into it a little further, there's some very fascinating things playing out as we speak. So we know we had a lower low with the indicators making a higher low, which was the bullish divergence. And we look at our 2 red circles above. What we were talking about in last week's video in the past 5-6 weeks was the 200-day moving average and our channel here, the channel that we've been in for 7 months. Now we got resistance from the 200-day. We also got resistance from our price channel here. So one thing I saw in the comments after last week's video is, Steve, we already broke out of this. Well, I don't understand why yours is different. So to draw a trend line, again, you can draw the trend line 100 different ways, but the most powerful way to draw it, in my opinion, based on my experience and expertise, is to draw on the bodies of the candles. We talk about the bodies all the time. By the way, I think that the music is distracting, so I'm going to put it off for a minute. Let me know what you think about the music, but I find it hard to really keep focused. Now, the bodies of the candles. In all of our videos, we talk about how powerful the bodies are. So when you're drawing a trend line, you've got to draw it to the bodies. You have to. And we drew it to the bodies here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 9 bodies of the candles here. And you can see the wick here got exactly to the area we were talking about. And then price action recently got exactly to that area as well. If you want to take it a step further and look at a monthly chart and just focus on the wicks, if you draw that, we actually also got exactly to the price and the area that we were talking about. So there's different ways to draw it. If you draw it with the wicks, you get the same results. We did not move above. And if you draw it on the daily chart with just the bodies, the same results. We have not moved out of this price channel, and we are repeating these fractals from before. So if we zoom out a little bit, we know that these fractals have repeated time and time again. We've been following them for 4 months, where we had the death cross, then we moved into, we were right down here in the death cross, then we moved into this failed rally, then we moved into a lower low, then we moved into another failed rally at the 200 day. So same scenario here. We had a death cross, prices moved up to this channel, which was another lower low, well, another, lower high. And then we moved into here, creating another lower low. Then we were ready for this move. We said, look, watch out for the 50 day. Before we got rejection from the 50 day, then we moved through, then we got rejected by the 200 day, which happened to be the same as it played out here. Move for move, pound for pound. Now, if this were to continue, what does it mean? It simply means we would see rejection from here and we would move below the 50 day as we had previously. There's only 2 steps we need to make. If you're really bullish and you're like, I really hope this thing goes to the moon, the halving is coming, I want to see prices rise, there's 2 things you have to watch. Well, 3. 2 of them are here. 1 is incredibly important, which we'll get to in a minute. Number 1, we have to see prices move above 9.2. That's checkbox numero uno. Checkbox number 2 is far more important. We have to get above 10.5K, creating a higher high, which would revert the trend. Doing this, getting above here, would not only bring us into a bull market because we would very likely have a golden cross, prices would be above the 200 day. That's our 2 check marks for a golden cross or a bull market. We would be above the 21 week. We would be in bullish territory on the weekly RSI. All signals would turn to bullish, but it has to get above 10.5. Steve, what if we rally all the way up to 10K and get rejected? Does that count? No. So 10.5K is the price I want you to watch. The third thing I want you to watch is here, the weekly RSI. Now, taking into consideration the past failed rally we had, which we did a few videos about, so everybody was really aligned on how that failed rally would play out, we compared the RSI on the weekly, our squeeze momentum, our wave trend, and the stochastics RSI, all indicating a specific playout compared to April as this past October. And it played out to the T. Now we're comparing the blue to the blue. And so far, right on schedule, right on target. Rejection from the weekly RSI. Our squeeze momentum is getting smaller and smaller red. Our wave trend had a bounce from our green, just like we had here, and we created a higher high in the stochastics. previous high here in November, and we've created another higher high, all of which indicate another failed rally. However, the stochastic RSI still has some momentum. You can see it here on the weekly chart. It's still showing some momentum. The only thing I want you to watch on this chart is the weekly RSI. Again, we've said this in many videos, but if you look at that 56.5 area, historically, that tells us bull or bear. It's never been wrong. If we're above it, we're in a bull market. If we're below, we're in a bear market. Plain and simple, no ifs, ands, or buts, just the facts in the charts. Right now, we're below. And before, during our previous failed rally, we rallied up to it and got rejection. You can see us having some rejection here. The key is the stochastics going to have enough juice left to get some momentum into the market and turn us above this weekly RSI level of about 56.5. So if you see the weekly RSI at about 57, there could be some fireworks, some good fireworks coming. That would more than likely help us get up to this 10.5K. So that's the one area to really watch as we speak. But as it stands now, this is pound for pound, move for move, fractal for fractal, relative to the past failed rally, which brought prices lower and lower. So plain and simple, what we've stated for the past 6-7 weeks has played out thus far. But again, these are the two prices to watch to see if we have enough momentum to turn bullish. So now what we need to do is switch gears back to the halving and really focus in on some other charts and some other theories that are going on with the halving and uncover just the facts. So that's what we do on this channel. It's not my emotional opinion. Everything is based with a scientific approach, and that's the way to go with trading, because humans' emotional tie to money is really tough for humans, and emotion is a money killer. If you want to take all of your money and set it on fire, another way to do that is just be a normal emotional human, and that's why the high majority of people fail at trading is simply because they can't control emotion. They have no strategy. They're just like those people that were entering the casino with their friends, hoping for the best. That's how it is with crypto. You get into the casino, you make a little money, you feel on top of the world. Before you know it, the money's gone. That's probably happened to you in crypto. If it has, it's time to wake up. It's time to put your foot down, and it's time to make a change. That is not the way to trade the markets. That is not the way to trade the markets. If you were somebody that got into crypto, you made some money, you felt good, and you lost it, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. So here's a review coming in from Larry. This is a really good one. Pause this video. Highly recommend you read this. But Larry's 61 years old. He had 5K, right? He got into crypto a year and a half ago. He had 5K, and he listened to a lot of people making all these predictions and lost all of his money. And he said he was listening to the wrong people. Probably not their fault either. They probably thought they knew what they were doing also. The blind leading the blind. Then he found us, and there was a big difference, and he signed up to our classes. And when he signed up to our classes, he had $550 left to trade with. After a few months, he turned it into $1,250. Now that's a success story. That's what I want to happen to you. A lot of people are concerned, well, what if I don't have a big trading portfolio? Listen, my classes will affect the rest of your life. You're going to need to know what to do with your 401k. You're going to need to know what to do with investing in real estate and other markets and anything that has a chart. My classes will completely change your life and make it so simple. Whether you're 10 years old or 110, you're going to get it for the first time ever. And that's going to pay for itself over and over and over and over again. So let's get you signed up. It's time for you to put your foot down. No more guessing, no more gambling with your money. We've got the diamond and the gold. Diamond is perfect for you if you're really new to crypto. You want to start right at step one. You don't want to miss any important material. That's the diamond combo. If you're really new to crypto, that's it. That's the best one for you. First link right down in the description, or go to cryptocreuniversity.com. You'll see the diamond right there. Now, you're going to sign up to the gold combo if you've been in crypto around 1 to 2 years. You got some experience, you understand the basics, you feel like you're ready to take that next step. That's the gold combo. Gold combo, second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video, or just go to cryptocreuniversity.com. Both of them are going to teach you what day trading is like, day trading strategies, swing trading strategies, long-term investing in my custom design hybrid strategy. You're going to learn the coins that I'm invested in, when I invest, when I get out. You're going to see all the secrets and tips and techniques to really turn it around for you. And look, we've been changing lives all around the world. That's our mission, to change lives. We've done it with a lot of people, and I want you to be next. So I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Now let's get into our next halving chart here. The halvings are outlined in the yellow, where you can see in November 2012, you can see in July of 2016, and then you can see in May 2020. What's interesting here is each time we entered the halving, we changed from red to green. Then we had the halving. We changed from red to green, then the halving, and then red to green, then the halving. Now, each time in the red was representing our bear market, which up until this point, we've only had 3. Now we're technically in our 4th, which we'll get to in a second. But the change from red to green is substantial. We made a few videos about it before, but what hasn't ever happened was for the price action to be inside of the channel as we approach the halving. That's never happened before, right? You can see here, once we had the change from red to green, prices were above this channel, and they never touched the channel until we entered our next bear market. And same here, we changed from red to green, prices were above the channel, and we never touched the channel until we re-entered a bear market. So why are prices inside of this channel now? Well, we're in a bear market. And we asked you to watch this last week or the week before. We said watch the top of this channel because it coincides with the 200-day moving average. It also coincides with our downtrending trend angle, and here we are at resistance, right? So what else is important is this kind of got pushed ahead. What I mean by that is we had about 100 days, right, from our change from red to green until the halving, about 100 days. And you fast forward here, and it was about 100 days again until the halving. And now, if you take from the green to the red till the halving, we're suddenly at 300 days. So why did this move happen so much faster, which caused us to have this signal 5 months early? Well, let's break it down. If you look at the price action, this is abnormal, and we've talked about it before. We had a high of 20K. We came down to that 200-week moving average, which we were expecting after the 3-day death cross, but we didn't stay there long. And as we had this legendary rally, it happened abnormally, where this should have happened over a period of a year, about a year, for us to break through these barriers of resistance, and we didn't. We didn't really stop and pay attention to anything. So we didn't spend enough time down here creating proper market structure. And we didn't create enough time with this move creating proper market structure on the way up. Without a proper market structure, it's kind of like if you build a house Without a foundation, the wind comes and blows and your whole house is blown down. But if you had a strong foundation, the wind can come, the rain can come, and that house is going to be sturdy. That's what market structure represents, and we just don't have it. We didn't have it around 3K. We didn't spend enough time down there really forming it, and this move really broke all the barriers, and now we're having a move to the downside to get us back on even keel, because we had such a parabolic move to the upside where it's a little bit longer, more devastating move to the downside, and we're just finding our equilibrium. But it happened too fast, which really represents this 5 months before. But again, this is really relative to the data, where it's pulling this data from and what source that data is. So again, if we're looking through a different lens with this chart relative to this one, mathematically they're quite different. They're representing the same thing, so we're seeing the same patterns. Now let's talk about a couple other factors. We have a lot written down here that we want to get to, but again, this approach to the halving is different. Right now we're technically in a bear market. Right now we're below the 21-week moving average. We're in bearish territory on the weekly RSI. Has that ever happened? No, it's never happened. But again, we just have 2 data points. We just have 2 data points. So one thing to keep in mind is, what is the herd saying? What's the herd saying about the halving? It's loud and clear. The halving is going to make Bitcoin go to like $1 million. You know, this is a little exaggeration, but the point is, everybody believes that the halving propels Bitcoin into a bull market, which we've already proved is 100% false. It didn't do that the past 2 times. The bull market happened 1 year before the halving, and this is playing out quite differently, where we're in some trouble approaching the halving. The good news is, in the history of Bitcoin, there will be 32 halvings. So in the future, we'll have a lot more data points and data sets to look at and analyze so that we can come up with stronger theories. But right now, there's only 2 data points, which from a scientific point of view is nothing. So we will use our best judgment and say that this upcoming halving right now is in some trouble. But again, these prices that we pointed out could really turn everything around, and our next chart will illustrate what would happen if we turned it around. We would be on par with what's happened in the past. So here's a chart here, really representing the halving in a nutshell. But what I want to start with is, where was the monthly RSI and the monthly stochastic as we approach the halving? You can see here in the 60s, our white line represents the halving, and we follow it down. We're in the 60s here, and we were also in the 60s in our second halving, but right now we're just at about 56. So we would need to see some pretty big moves in the monthly RSI leading into the halving, as well as the stochastics. Stochastics was really bullish during this halving, was really bullish during this halving, and we're showing weakness right now. So you can see that the market is quite different. The sentiment of the market is quite different leading into this halving, right? So let's dig into it a little further. So our white lines represent the actual dates of the halving. What we can see here is we had our first ever bear market, our second ever bear market, and our third ever bear market, all of them in distinct bull flags, each one in a distinct bull flag. Now we broke out of that bull flag, and then we entered a golden cross. Same here, we broke out, had a golden cross, we broke out, had a golden cross. And then there were 3 distinct tiers, which we've discussed at length. So if we are trying to enter tier 2, keep in mind, each of the past halvings, although only 2, both of which happened at tier 2. They did not happen at tier 1 or at tier 3. Both of them happened at tier 2. Now, the good news is we could potentially be moving right now into tier 2. potentially moving into tier 2. The only thing standing in our way is 10.5K. That's it. If we got above here, everything would play out as planned here, because this one is taking a couple steps back. We're looking at the really broad scope. But again, it's a big if. It's a big if. This would turn the entire market. We would enter a parabolic phase pretty quickly to 14K. And if we broke that, it would be pretty quickly to 20. Those are the two main points, because of the bodies of the monthly candles dictate 14 and 20 are the be all end all. 14 is pretty strong because of the bodies of the candles. But that's what's standing in our way. So we're trying to get to tier 2. The only thing standing in our way is 10.5K. Everything else has happened according to plan. Although when you look at the smaller picture and you start picking apart these moves, this move into this halving is very different. We're in a bearish case scenario. There's not a lot of momentum. There's not a lot of hype. We're not in the midst of a bull run. It's very different because potentially these moves happened without creating the proper market structure as we were at our bottom and moving through the bottom. This should have taken significantly longer, and it would have been a lot healthier for the market. So that's the storylines right now. Let me know how you think it's going to play out. Hit that subscribe button right now. This is where we keep this entire market super, super simple. So hit that subscribe button right now. Join the movement. I have incredible Steve secrets to success to get to. But just a reminder, go to cryptocareeruniversity.com if you want to win $300 of Bitcoin. The jackpot has risen. $300, go to cryptocareeruniversity.com. Scroll to the bottom. It's free to enter. Put in your email address and hit subscribe, and you have a very good chance of winning 300 of Bitcoin, which in the future would be worth quite a bit of money. Now, we'll read a quick review coming in from Quinn. Quinn said, it took 4 months to write this review. He wanted to test the strategy and philosophy and the system that he learned in the class, and he said, what are the results? I've had several winning trades during the bear market / correction. The cost of the diamond seems completely insignificant to the money I now made. Quinn, this goes out to you. Keep up the great work. Let us know how things are progressing now with your trades. But having that confidence is everything. You don't want to enter that casino just hoping, and then you get into the casino and you're winning some money, but you don't know when to sell. You don't know when to take your profits. Before you know it, your profits are gone and you're in the red. If that happened to you in the crypto industry, where you started making some money, you felt on top of the world, then you lost that money and now you're in the red, it's time to put your foot down. This is the day you put your foot down. You say, enough is enough. Steve's got a hell of a point. I don't want to be on the losing side. And by the way, investing is something you're going to use for the rest of your life. So you better learn from somebody that's been doing it for 19 years, that's focused on changing lives, has the best customer service to answer every single question all along your journey and get you on the right path finally with investing. You've probably wanted to learn how to invest for your whole life, and you've had a bad track record so far, but you're still trying. And this is the next step that'll change everything for you. So sign up to the Diamond Combo if you're really new to crypto. If you've been in crypto a handful of months, you want to start right at step 1. Diamond is perfect for you. First link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video, or just go to cryptocareeruniversity.com. By the way, if you have any questions about the classes, the biggest question I get is, Steve, which classes are best for me in my situation? Email me your situation right now, and I'll make sure the classes will get you set up with the best ones for you. info@cryptocareeruniversity.com is the email. info@cryptocareeruniversity.com. Now, if you've been in crypto between 1 to 2 years, the gold combo, you're going to love it. It'll be an absolute game changer. It's our top seller, our most popular by far. Go get the gold combo right now. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video, or just go to CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Now, Steve's secrets to success. So we already showed you this trend line. A lot of confusion from last week's video. I think a lot of people are drawing trend lines really differently, but again, if you draw the monthly, we have not crossed above. If you draw it from the daily, always use the bodies, but I wanted to illustrate the wicks here so you can see two different ways, two different viewpoints. But we're still holding above the 21 monthly EMA. If you want to follow on Twitter, go over to the Twitter. It's at CryptoCrewU. Look forward to seeing you there as well. Also, if you didn't hear about the Bitcoin giveaway, the jackpot has risen to $300. You have a very strong chance of winning. So go to CryptoCrewUniversity.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, and type in your email address and hit that subscribe button. It's free. Who wouldn't want $300 of Bitcoin, which will be worth a very pretty penny as we move into the future? If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? A lot of people watch these videos. They think they're subscribed. So go look right there. Is the subscribe button red? That means you haven't subscribed. Hit that button. If you're on mobile, you have to scroll with your finger and look, but you don't want a red button. You don't want anything red in crypto. Steve's secrets to success. This is something we've talked about time and time again, but I cannot stress it enough. Give more. This is something when I was a lot younger, I wasn't really aware of. I didn't know about giving more. I just knew about taking. And unfortunately, it took me some years, but in my mid-20s is really when it connected and when it finally made sense. And I said, you know what? This is the kind of life I want to live. I want to give more. I want to impact lives. I want to give back. I want to change lives. And I want to leave a big impact in this world. But there's a couple key stories I'm going to share with you. One thing I don't do is give to people that are expecting something. I really don't like to do that. But when they're not expecting it, that's when, for me, fulfillment is really at its peak. Instead of people looking at you like dollar signs, expecting you to give them stuff, I really don't like that. It's very dirty, in my opinion, for me. So I'm going to share with you a story. Just recently, I was walking in a local neighborhood, right? I love to go in the local neighborhoods. You guys know I love to travel. I've been to like 60 or 65 countries or something like that, and I love the local neighborhood. So I'm walking in the local neighborhood with my family, and I see this lady, a local lady, who is struggling to have her outside shop. She's on the street. Her little daughter appears to be about 5 years old, is playing in the mud on the street with cars going by, and she's trying to take care of her, but she has a little baby who looks to be about 5 or 6 months laying on this broken down, dirty box, laying on her back, and it just looked so dangerous. And it really connected with me because my son is just about to turn 11 months. So I said, I need to go do something for this lady. So we go to her shop and we pick out something small. And I said, yeah, I want to buy this thing. And I give her a bill, and it represents like $25 this bill, or 25 or 30 US dollars. And she looks at it and she says, wow, I don't have change. And she went to hand me the bill back, and she's like, just you can come back if you have some change. I said, no. I said, this is for you, and I want you to keep it. And she was like so shocked and surprised, and like her whole body language changed. I said, yeah, it's a gift. I wanted to do something for you. I see you working hard to have this shop, and enjoy it with your 2 daughters. And she just lit up. Her whole face, her whole energy changed, and she was just like, wow. And she didn't know what to say. She was at a loss of words, and I walked away, and this lady stopped me, and she says, you know what? I just watched what you did. And she says, look at my arm. I've got goosebumps. And I didn't know anybody was looking. I just wanted to do something nice and something that would like impact somebody's life just a little bit and just give them that uplifting piece of their day. And I didn't know anybody else noticed, but that was pretty cool. That was a cool moment for me. I'll share with you one quick other story now that we're at the 15-minute mark. I hope that we would be less, but anyways, here's a quick story. This was a few days ago. When I bring my son out, I hate cigarette smoke. So if you smoke cigarettes, I hate it. I really hate cigarettes. I hated it before I had a son. And now that I have a son, I don't want him breathing in the number one killer on the planet. But if you smoke, nothing against you. That's just my opinion. Now, most of the time when you go out, people are really a little bit crazy about their cigarette smoke, especially around babies. They just don't care, which is, to me, is mind-boggling. So that's been a struggle. So we go to this restaurant and we're looking around for which table to sit at. And we ended up going to this table, and this younger couple was next to us. And I didn't notice she had a pack of cigarettes in an ashtray on the table. And I was just looking around, and she said to me, "Excuse me, sir, I just want you to let you know that I'm not going to be smoking because I have a lot of respect that you have a baby." And I thought, wow, nobody's ever said that to me before. Usually it's the exact opposite. Like, I'll smoke whatever the hell I want. I don't care if you have 20 babies. And again, it goes back to I like to give to people that don't expect something. She said it on her behalf, like, hey, I'm not going to. So I picked up her whole tab, and she had been there for a while with her boyfriend that had meals and drinks. They're on vacation, it turns out, and it was just something to do that I didn't tell him I was going to do it. I just went up to the front and just paid for it and didn't tell them, and then watched the reaction as we left, and it was pretty cool. So again, I went up to her and I said, "Do you know why I did that?" She says, "I have no idea." And I said, "You didn't expect anything from me." She says, "What do you mean?" I said, "You told me that you weren't going to smoke. I didn't ask you. You told me. And you didn't expect anything in return. You're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. So I wanted to do something to reciprocate and to pay it forward and do more good in the world." And she was just like, wow, that's really cool. So those are quick 2 stories, and try it in your personal life. Whether you're at the 7-Eleven and somebody behind you has a stick of gum, try it and look at the responses here. If you've done this before, write your story, because there's been some incredible stories from our community of people trying this out, and it's mind-blowing what you'll see happens. I remember one comment from somebody on our recent YouTube video where I shared one of these kind of stories, and they said, "Steve, I was at dinner and I wanted to pay for this other table that I didn't know. I wanted to pay their bill, and I went up to the front and realized they had already paid my bill." And what a coincidence. This is where it really starts to become fulfilling in life. You can make all the money in the world, but again, fulfillment is everything. If you're not fulfilled, you're not going to be happy. So regardless of how much or how little money you make, fulfillment is everything. And you want to be fulfilled, give back. Try it. I guarantee you're going to buy somebody a soda or a coffee behind you, and you're going to be like, wow. And watch the reaction and feel the energy, a total shift. And you're doing good in the world. And that's when things start to become great, and you'll be very fulfilled. So those are the stories. Those are Steve's secrets to success. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. My son turns 11 months in 2 days from now. I'm super excited. And I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you give a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go enter to win the Bitcoin and subscribe on YouTube or Twitter. If you've done all those things, phenomenal. I'll try to do the music next time. Maybe it's just too distracting. I can't be laser focused on our discussions, but let me know in the comments down below how you think the halving is going to play out. What about the music, and any other thoughts you have about giving back or fulfillment. I will read everybody's comments, and I'll see you right back here next Wednesday. Peace and love to the Crypto Crew.